Alright, we're here for the third match with RWBurn. Gonna be on the play here. Another one-lander, can't really keep that one. This hand's a little awkward since we already have 3 lands and we need to draw another one to be able to cast the Boros Charm. Gonna lead with Mutavault, try to get a few quick hits before he actually gets set up. Swamp, no Thoughtseize, that's fine. Well, Sacred Foundry helps, but really don't want to draw any more lands for a while. Hopefully I guess if he plays Pack Rat, that's not so bad. Grizzly Salvage, ooh, get to play against a whip deck, and luckily we have a Skullcrack, so he's going to salvage here into not a land. He may end up missing a land drop. Main deck Drownsaur is actually kind of cool. So he put I guess he has to put the Herald of Torment in his hand, so. Alright, keep beating down. Get in our free points while we can. We're going to have to grind out that whip, hopefully we're able to grind out that whip on turn 4, but Nyx Weaver, interesting. I've been wanting to see decks with that guy, so I think it's worth it to just go ahead and kill it and attack for 2, because he can potentially just like keep blocking that, fill up his graveyard for things like Nemesis Immortals, and you know, we don't save that much damage by like striking Helm, and we keep him from filling up his graveyard and getting back Whip of Erebos, which could be pretty bad for us. Alright, so he scries to the top. Another Grizzly Salvage, that's fine. Now we're just gonna attack him, probably go Boros Charm, put him down to 8. Put Wildlife Troll in his hand. Can't cast it this turn, though. And we have Chain of the Rocks for it, too. That's pretty sweet. That's another good reason to cast Boros Charm here as opposed to any of the other burn spells, so that we can Chain of the Rocks as a guy next turn. So it's definitely going to be a match where we want to bring in Wear and Tear. Whip is pretty similar to the Bow of Natalie we played against last round. So, alright, put him down to 8, and then we have 7 points of burn in our hand. It's possible our chain could get Abrupt Decayed, but I think that's fine. Alright, chain. Get that troll out of here. At this point, Whip is not that much of a problem. If he wants to chump block, that's fine. Probably gonna end of turn Magma Jet. Same amount of damage if we shock it or jet that, as opposed to hitting him with the Mutavault. And if he had taken it, he probably would have died. So here comes Night Howler. Now that guy's pretty good with Whip of Erebos, not gonna lie, but Courser, no. Alright, well, he's already played his land for a turn, so that's good. Put him to 6. Hopefully we have a burn spell on top that costs 1 or 2. 3, yep. Alright, so just put the Magma Jet on top. And then to the dome, I say. Magic's real fun when you get to just like burn your opponents to death. Well, it's fun for you. It's not very fun for them. He was all like, oh, I'm going to stabilize and attack you for 9 and start gaining life. And he just died. Alright, so we definitely want to bring in Satyr Fire Dancer in this matchup, I think. It's interesting how good this card is against decks without too many removal spells. I think Eidolon the Great Revel is really, really strong here. Searing Blood, maybe not so much. Most of his guys seem pretty big except for Satyr Wayfinders, but if it doesn't draw Satyr Wayfinder, Searing Blood doesn't actually do anything at all. Harness by Force could be absurd, as well as Chain of the Rocks and Wear and Tear. So now we just have to figure out what we want to cut. Charger's Phoenix is fairly low impact. I think maybe if we just have Fire Dancer and Eidolon going, we can just drown him, and he doesn't have that much removal. I think we want to keep the Skullcracks, Magma Jets, Lightning Strikes. That's kind of tough. Maybe the shocks aren't so great. If the Searing Bloods aren't great, then the shocks probably aren't. Magma Jet's fine just because it can scry. Maybe I'll bring in the Dictative Twin Gods and just go full blown. Light them up. Well, this hand is not exciting, but very many hands with this deck are not very exciting. Luckily, we are in the draw and have a scry land, so I think I should keep it. There's a lot of damage going to the face here. The only problem if he goes like Sylvan Carroted into Whip and then starts playing some cards to chain it off, that's pretty bad for us. So Temple Scry, Boar Storm on top. Yeah, I guess I'm just gonna try to 20 him with burn spells. No interaction all the time. We're definitely going to shock ourselves here just so we can start actually casting our spells. And in case he's like going to start duressing us, I think we're going to lead with the Boros Charms. They don't really have utility outside of just dealing 4. And I'd rather save these other burn spells to potentially like stop him from gaining life. Well, that's not a card you want to play against a burn deck, sir. I don't know if you've paid a life against a burn deck before, but it is real gross. Yeah, I mean, we have more than, 16 points of burn in our hand, right? 4, 7, 10, 13, 16, 19. So, if we draw a land next turn, then he's going to be dead before he gets to untap. So, unless, of course, he whips, but then we can just skullcrack him, so. Alright, to the dome, I say. Really want to draw a land so we can go strike and skullcrack. There we go. So now we're safe even through Whip, and he's just dead. That's the power of burn spells. It's like playing a combo deck that wins on turn 5. It's like Storm with Suspend. Just cast all your spells over the course of a few turns. Brain Maggot. Yeah, still 12 points coming at you, buddy. This is actually really, really funny that he's playing Brain Maggot before, because he just sees all these burn spells, and he has to have a second Brain Maggot, or a Duress, or he's just dead. Yeah, this deck is silly. It's sweet, though. If I'd known he had Brain Maggot, I probably would have left in Searing Bloods, but very likely a concession unless he has a second Brain Maggot, but we'll see. If he tries to gain life, skullcrack. Alright. Alright, good. I was afraid that was going to be a duress. There was a pause. Alright, we'll go ahead and lightning strike him twice. I guess we'll skullcrack in case this is premature, but Alright, that was the third match. We'll be right back for round number 4.